Okay, with pleasure now, it's time to introduce my next guest on my show. I am just going to get him straight on. We have Vince Freeman. He's a musician, original artist on my show. Welcome to my show, Vince. My first question, I'm going to ask you, where did your musical journey start?
Yeah, I started doing music because I love it. It's the greatest problem that it's the greatest problem that I will never solve. I absolutely adore it. And I suppose for that reason, the highs and lows kind of, that's just the journey.
Hmm.
Um, and, now, uh, you know, I'm just really grateful and thankful for that. It's great.
Great. I know your journey began on reality TV, so you've had experience in there. You've been on the same program as Becky Hill, as she's doing well for
Oh, yeah,
herself,
yeah, yeah.
and then you ran an open mic night in London, and you discovered Ed Sheeran, or you met him during that time where he was just starting out.
Yeah, I definitely didn't discover Ed, but yeah, we did a few gigs together. I met him kind of when he was sort of hanging around with SBT. Like all the people that I've met along the way, most of them I've met because we were just jobbing musicians,
Mm.
just trying to catch a break,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, and on that basis living in Cheltenham, a couple of hours away from London, not much of a music scene.
Mm. Yes, I know Cheltenham very well, and we'll come on to that a little bit later on in the interview. What's it like, the feeling when you got testimonials from music magazines and like?
Having people turning around and going, "Do you know what? I like this." And that's great for me. To have spent so long doing this album, then it comes out, and it's getting good support from different areas. So it's nice.
That's good. That's good to hear. Your new single as well. We're concentrating on this one. We're going to play it in shortly. Blame myself as
Okay.
well. I know.
Yeah.
People always seem to compare artists to, like, how they sound like in places.
Yeah.
And I know Rag and Bone Man, but I did hear hints of Daniel Merriweather in there as well.
Oh yeah. 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 What was his song? Red, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
that's the
that?
one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
changes and stop me. Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear that.
brilliant. And you got a music video
I
as well to this.
Yes, I have. Yeah. Just going back to your last point, I think that's okay, by the way. Like, I think that people, when they listen to stuff, especially if they've never heard it, I think it's a natural thing to kind of go, do you know what? That sounds a little bit like. And to be honest with you, when people have kind of gone, I think you sound a little bit like Rag and Bone Man or Teddy Swims or this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'll take that all day. Like it's a massive compliment. Yeah, and sorry, you were saying I've got music video
Yeah, onto the
for
music video.
Blame.
Was that very exciting to make? I know, it shows. I'm going to say something like, in the video, it seems like you're showing like your vulnerable side. Was that kind of the way you wanted to portray it?
Yeah, yeah. I guess I came up with the concept that basically every single person is the eye of their own storm, and when I say storm, I kind of mean like life. Whatever life has to throw at you, it's throwing it at you, and you're in the middle of it, and you're almost, it's almost like you're sort of you're in a you're a bystander in your own story kind of thing.
Mm.
So I wanted that concept of owning your decisions, and the idea of kind of life happening to you,
Mm.
and yeah, so we just came up with this concept of me kind of sat, trying to be. I think I look a little bit too intense in the video, by the way. I'm not the greatest of actors,
Mm.
but the whole idea was I was supposed to be kind of looking sort of fairly emotionless at camera, and then all these different various things happen, good and bad,
Mm.
caresses and the hit on the face that hurt.
Oh gosh, yeah, I saw that. I felt the pain there. And I was about to say, in 2020s now, we there's nothing wrong with a man showing his vulnerable side,
Yeah.
and I think more men
I
should do that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah. I mean, I one of the things that happened to me very early in my career was I got given a guitar when I was 21. I was a very angry, frustrated young man, and I didn't know why. And the reason why was simply that I've been brought up, you know, in a world where, you know, you respect your elders, you go and play football, you don't do shit, and you know, being vulnerable and talking about your feelings and all that kind of stuff. That just wasn't something that young men were supposed to do, and I think what music kind of gave me was an outlet, a way of talking about how I feel. And yeah, I think it's so important. I think we're all weirdos,
Yeah.
you know, and I think if the world generally could embrace that, I think it would be a better place for everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone has their kind of like individuality, eccentricities,
Yeah,
and we're all human at the end of the day, and music is a great outlet to put it into perspective.
exactly that. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exciting times for you as well. I was going to ask, having read all what you've been through, are you going to write a book or an autobiography at some point?
um, do you know what? I sometimes kind of think about like doing stuff like that. I think if I was going to do it, it would be something like, Nobody Famous, Life and Times of a Shoeless Troubadour or something like
Mm,
that. It, I think, yeah, I mean, I think everybody's got a story. That's it. Um, it'd be great to write a book, but I don't know how many people would read it.
I'm not going to touch on The Voice, but I just saw your audition, and the responses you've got is quite phenomenal. A lot of people are commenting like back then. Has he got a new single
Yeah,
out now? And they're comments from 11 years ago. Do you ever look back at
yeah.
like people's comments on the videos sometimes?
I I don't generally sort of go back and look at people's comments. It's sort of like Googling yourself. you know? But it was amazing at the time. I mean, I'm always thrilled when people enjoy what I do. Um, one of the tracks on the album is called Stardust, and 9 people have used that song as their first dance for their wedding, and
Oh,
that's a
yeah,
privilege,
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's not that I ignore those comments. I think it's wonderful,
Mm,
and I try, like, so now, for example, when people get in touch with me on socials and stuff, I try and respond to
mm,
everybody that gets in touch, because I think it's important.
mm,
I think I think it's important to, for somebody to know that I really value that.
mm.
I make music. Yes, I make music because I love music, and I want something that I'm proud of. But ultimately, if somebody listens to it and it does something for them, I'd love for people to understand that really means a lot to me.
That's wonderful. And just a little thought I've got actually. This is quite a weird question, but I always say, because I've been a karaoke DJ in my life, and that's what I do. I always say you've made it when your original song's made it onto a karaoke CD or website,
Yeah.
and then when someone's singing that, in a bar. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's singing like one of your songs, like passing by, like randomly?
Um, yeah, kind of. I've had quite a lot of kind of like odd, things. I say odd. It's probably one of the most amazing compliments when
Mm,
somebody decides, you know what, I'm going to learn this song. So I've had quite a few people over the years kind of get in touch with me and go, could you tell me the chords to this particular song so I can kind of play it. That's amazing when that
mm.
kind of thing happens. If you're talking about the voice, for any of your listeners, this will be quite an interesting and nice thing to do. So there's a guy in Brazil, that has recorded his own video of Sex on Fire, but it's Sex on Fire in the style of Vince Freeman, and it's amazing. I look at it and I'm like, I can hear that he's actually spent time trying to work out how to sing like kind of like me, and it's really like amazing to just to see that. I used to feel really uncomfortable with that kind of thing. By the way, like somebody would ask me for my autograph, and I'd go, "Why?" You know, and that wasn't, that was just because I would be like, I don't feel, like I'm worth that, if you know what I mean.
I
But
think you should be
I,
really,
I look at it
yeah.
differently these days.
Yeah, no, I think you should be really proud of yourself. It's brilliant, and you've got an exciting tour on the way. You're doing like a string
Yeah,
of towns and cities in the UK. You're at my
yeah,
neck of the woods. I'll read a few out on the Sunflower Lounge on the 10th of April. That's a nice intimate venue.
yeah. I'm looking forward to all of them. Big and small. We've just booked Lake Fest in the summer. That's probably two back from Ollie Murs in front of like 20,000 people. And then this UK tour, still with the full band, six-piece band,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love performing, and I haven't been able to tour in almost 10 years. You know,
Wow.
so I can't wait.
And of course, the Camden Club as well. That's a beautiful venue. That's the 16th of
Yeah,
April as well. And
that's right.
as I
Yeah.
said, you mentioned Cheltenham. You're on there the 27th of April at the Parabola Arts Centre as well. You're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Is that one of your hometowns, is it?
Yes. So the tour starts in Plymouth, where I was born, and also it's at the venue. It's at the first venue that I ever sold out, and I can't wait to go back there. And then the tour finishes in Cheltenham, where I've lived, since I came here to university. And the art centre is it's a strange one because it's owned by the Cheltenham Ladies College. It's very posh. But a lot of people don't know it as a venue, but it's like state of the art. It's a 300 cap venue, and it's just like it's a very, very cool, venue. It'll look and sound amazing in there.
That's good.
So
As I says,
yeah,
I went around Cheltenham for 3 years, and first time I've heard about it. Good thing about Cheltenham, there's always something you can discover there, hidden gems every
yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah,
streets and shops and backways. Lovely part of the world. Anyway,
yeah.
that's brilliant. And 2024, looking forward to it. Some good things in the pipeline on the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. Oh, one of the things I can tell you is that so the focus track for the album will be Real Love. And next week I'm going down to London to record with the London Community Gospel Choir. And they're going to be, it'll be Real Love featuring the London Community Gospel Choir. And I cannot wait because it's going to sound amazing.
Well, it's brilliant that your diary's looking booked out, Vince. And
Yeah,
thanks for the
yeah.
interview. We could talk all day, but I just wanted to touch on the things that we were looking at talking about. And your new single, going to play on the airwaves now. This is your new single. Would you like to
Great
introduce it on?
stuff.
So this is Dan's radio show.
Okay. So this is Dan Sun's radio show. I'm Vince Freeman, and this is my new single from the album Scars, Ghosts and Glory, Blame Myself. Turn it up.
Thanks very much, mate. Great chatting with you today.
No worries.